Lomachenko's team just revealed in this leaked audio why they flat out ducked Shakur Stevenson and why they probably most likely will never fight him. We're going to talk about that in this video, but before we do that, make sure you hit my like button, subscribe to the channel, and let's cook. So when it comes to Shakur Stevenson, everybody have a whole lot of shit to say, but let's fight. Don't nobody want to fight Shakur. The fans know it. The media know it. Now, yeah, they'll run a whole bunch of narratives on making excuses why they don't want no smoke with Shakur, but it's plain and simple. Most of these fighters, they don't have a throwback mentality. And what I mean about that is these fighters don't fully believe in themselves. They pick and choose who they want to fight according to who they believe they have a chance of beating. Or in some cases, if they get a fight with a money man like a Gervonta Davis or, Ryan Garcia, somebody that they know that they can just make a whole bunch of money if they step in the ring, win, lose, or draw. Unfortunately, Shakur Stevenson, he ain't hit that level to where, fighters are making just their biggest paydays yet. Some of these fighters absolutely have made their biggest paydays by fighting Shakur Stevenson. But, you can't fight Shakur and make retirement type of money. So these fighters, they looking at Shakur and they like, okay, he ain't worth me taking an L to. That's just what it is, plain and simple. Fighters are now, they not built like that. Most of them are not built like that. They could be a champion, but they don't believe that they're the best. Shakur Stevenson is one of the few that's in the sport of boxing that still has a throwback mentality, that's willing to fight any and everybody. He don't care who it is. If you in his weight division, he wants the smoke. But it's crazy because those fighters in today's time, those are the fighters that get criticized the most. The fighters that have a whole bunch of smoke and mirrors and like to fool the fans by not fighting the best, but pretending like they are the best. Those are the fighters that get the most praise. It's a new, different age and time in boxing today. I never thought back in the day that I ever see the day in boxing where a fighter gets criticized because he wants to fight any and everybody and he wants to fight the best. It's like when I look at Shakur Stevenson's career, it's like, man, I don't want it to go in the same direction as Gary Russell's career, because Gary Russell was once the WBC champion at 126 pounds. He wasn't born. Y'all try to make it excuses that Shakur Stevenson is born because he had one off fight. But the 4 fights before that, he had action-packed fights and beat down his opponents. So, it's obvious that the haters, I'm not going to call them fans, the haters are looking for an excuse to hate on Shakur Stevenson, bring a whole bunch of negativity, because that's what haters do on Twitter and social media. They get behind keyboards and they'll say anything that can come out their mouth. But it's not even about that. It's about these fighters. These fighters, they duck and hide behind promoters, and if they can find an excuse that they know the fans are going to latch on to, they'll find that excuse. Now, with Gary Russell, what was the excuse for everybody not wanting to fight him at 126? And I believe he held that strap for like 6 years, and he couldn't get a big fight because no fighter in that division right at the time when Gary Russell was in that division, and I'm not talking about Shakur because he was with a whole different promoter, but I'm talking about the fighters that was in the division with Gary Russell and on the same side of the street with him. He couldn't get no fights with him because they didn't want no smoke. So all of a sudden, the WBC strap, it didn't mean anything. Just like Shakur Stevenson, he has the WBC strap right now, and all of a sudden, that went from the title that everybody wanted. Nobody wants to fight for the WBC strap no more, and I wonder why. But Vasyl Lomachenko is one of those names that's always held the WBC strap in high regards. Vasyl Lomachenko, he was actually one of the names at one point in his career that never ducked no smoke. But when it came to Shakur Stevenson, he don't want no smoke with Shakur. He had a chance to fight Shakur for the vacant WBC strap, and he turned it down. Now he'll be fighting George Kambosos for another scrap in a much easier fight. So he took what fans and what, boxing media will call the smart move. Why is it the smart move? Because he pretty much has a for sure win over George Kambosos. But let me play the audio, and I'm going to let y'all hear what his team said, why they are ducking Shakur Stevenson and probably will never fight Shakur. Play the audio.
Probably won't happen. The more likely fight, it seems like, is Shakur Stevenson. What do you think about him, and how difficult fight do you think?
Very difficult fight. Very difficult fight from a stylistic perspective because Shakur's that good. He's so gifted. He's so, he's like the Matrix 2.0 version of Lomachenko. He's so gifted. You can't hit him with a handful of rice. So that's a stylistically very difficult fight.
How confident would you be? I mean, I know you gotta be confident, but how confident would you be for Loma to pick up that win against Shakur if they were to face off?
Right? Listen, that would be a big worrisome fight. That would be a very difficult fight simply because of the fact, and it might not even be a fan-friendly fight either, because both of them are so good defensively. Loma, the smaller guy, would have to try to make the fight a little bit more, and Shakur has that beautiful back step where he can just step back and he judges distance so great. He's so well coached. He does things so great in there. Stylistically, it's a tough fight, which is why.
So y'all heard Vasyl Lomachenko's team clearly tell you why they don't want to fight Shakur Stevenson. The man wouldn't even say that Loma could win that fight. You can't hit him with a bag of rice. That's what Vasyl Lomachenko's own team told you. Let you know why Lomachenko flat out ducked Shakur Stevenson, and also letting you know why all these other fighters have ducked Shakur Stevenson. I mean, he's the champion and he have to go down the list and don't nobody want to fight him. And these clown ass fans will run around with excuses talking about, oh, he's boring. Well, he wasn't boring his last 4 or 5 fights before that. That's an excuse not to fight somebody. That's an excuse not to want to go take somebody's scrap. Nah, that's what that is. It's a lie. That's what it is. It's a lie of an excuse because you can't beat him. And this is what boxing has come to. Fighters, they can pick and choose their way to the top because all of these fake ass titles, all of these straps, they need to get rid of all of these titles. Boxing needs to change. All these sanctioning bodies, they need to get rid of them. All these belts is ruining the sport of boxing. These fighters, they don't believe in themselves no more. They don't want to fight the best. All they want to do nowadays is try to pump fake their way to a huge payday. That's what a lot of these fighters are doing. And they doing it to the fans because now the real fans, and when I say the real fans, I mean the fans that are real fans of the sport of boxing, just not a fan of a couple fighters that they obsessed with. We don't get to see the best fight the best. And the sad part is a lot of these fighters, not all of them, but a whole lot of them, they really don't want to fight the best. I mean, you could probably count on your hands the few fighters in the sport of boxing that really, really believe in themselves, that really believe they the best, and willing to put it on the line against any and everybody in their division to prove that they the best. Shakur Stevenson is one of them without a shadow of a doubt. But like I said earlier, those fighters, they don't get respected today in the game of boxing. And a lot of these fans that stay on Twitter and social media 24/7, they're actually a part of ruining the sport of boxing because now people really that don't know shit about the sweet science of boxing, they don't know shit about boxing. They have the loudest mouths and they're the ones that are getting highlighted the most all over social media because they know how to sit behind the keyboard and run their mouth all day. So yeah, Shakur Stevenson said he's retired, but he's just in a position now. It's like he's sitting back and saying, okay, what fight are they going to give me? I know I'm probably going to have to fight an in-house fight because I'm on my last fight with Top Rank. So of course they're going to give me an in-house fight. Who are they going to give me? Is it going to be worth me even wanting to get up for? You know what I'm saying? And so, man, it's a business also, too. If they give him a Rudy poop that don't nobody want to see him in the ring with, how is that going to build his profile? It's not. How is he going to get any credit for it? He's not. So, of course, he wants to fight the best. Just like Gary Russell wanted to fight the best. But Gary found himself sitting on the shelf every time you turned around and fighting like every year and a half because didn't nobody want to fight him for the WBC strap. Same with Shakur Stevenson. It's like the only fighters that are willing to take a chance against fighters like Gary and Shakur, fighters that's on the come up that they gain nothing out of beat it, or fighters that's just, it really don't matter because they don't have a name. Man, it's a raw game in the sport of boxing. I want to hear y'all thoughts. Who do y'all think that Shakur Stevenson might possibly get a fight with next? Now, don't come over here talking about no Edwin De Los Santos because I would love to see that rematch. But y'all got to understand, De Los Santos fights for the PBC and Shakur fights for Top Rank. And Top Rank is going to want Shakur to fight an in-house fight because he's on his last fight in the contract. They're not finna pay a PBC fighter to come back over to Top Rank to make that happen again right now. So let me hear from y'all. Y'all make sure y'all smash my like button. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subbed. And y'all already know how I do. There you go, talking that boxing again. And I'm gone.
So everybody sees you.